Time to see what the wizards are up to.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Happy Tuesday. We are excited to be here. And first of all, just wanted to say thank you, everyone, for your support of the Robot Quest Arena Kickstarter. It's doing awesome. I'm super excited that Gumball Machine was unlocked personally.
Yeah. So we are 1 week in today on the Robot Quest Kickstarter. We have been unlocking stretch goals left and right. They've been we've gotten a ton of them unlocked. We just passed the 225 K mark yesterday, and we did an update announcing our 250K stretch goal, which is it's a really cool one. We've got 2 of the glue gun promo cards, and the glue gun actually shoots these glue tiles, so it basically they gum up the board. So it also comes with 3 tiles, so that's a particularly cool stretch goal.
There was a couple comments. Why is there like, what was it? The ratio was off of the tiles to the glue gun. So what's the number of
so basically
tiles to the
it's
glue gun
not
ratio?
that.
What does that mean?
So basically there's 2 glue guns that'll be in the deck, and they may or may not come up during the game. And then the reason there's multiple tiles, so you could have a single glue gun, and every time you use it, you add one of these glue tiles to the board. If you get to the point where all the glue tiles are used up, when you fire a new one, you pull an old one off the board. So it's very video game style in that sense. Basically 3 tiles is a good number to have to be able to add glue to the board. And you don't want the entire board being covered with glue, because then it's not, it's not fun. So 3 was the number of tiles that we thought, okay, this is a good amount of glue tiles to have access to in the game. And even if you only draw 1 glue gun, you could still, over the course of time, get all 3 tiles on the board. If you draw both, then, you'll be getting those more frequently, obviously, but still maxing out at 3 tiles.
So I had this slide from last week, and I just want to mention once again that command decks are going to be coming to the app. And this is also a good intro for our guests that we're going to have today. We're going to cover a couple more things, but we're going to have 2 guests from our digital team. We've had multiple requests of people to meet people from the digital team, so we're pretty excited about that. So let me cover just a couple quick marketing things, and then we can get into the right into the digital stuff, because I'm real excited to hear it. So one quick thing, it is International Tabletop Day, in case anyone didn't know. We are running a promotion. So if you have anyone that you're friends with that you'd love to be able to play them in the Star Realms app, they can head over to our Discord channel and say hello or post an emoji to get a free app code so that they can play you. So let your friends know. And we'll be posting that around on social media as well. Just want to let you know about that. And last week's winner, Todd from Denver, congratulations. You
very cool prize.
A copy of Sorcerer. Yes, it's a very awesome prize. This game is beautiful. My favorite art ever. Robot Quest is pretty close, but I love that creepy, beautiful art from Sorcerer. So I'm excited. You'll really have fun with that. And then this week, so every week we have a giveaway. This week we're giving away Colony Wars, which is a base game of Star Realms, and and a set of the Star Realms United packs. Awesome. Those are I love those double ally, the double faction abilities. So check that out, and the Saffron will post a link below for that. And I think this next slide is going to be the app stuff. So let's introduce our guests. So we have two guests from our digital team. One, many of you know, Joel Hornbeck. He runs a lot of our beta and community stuff. You see him in Discord all the time. He's always around when people have problems. He's a great problem solver, and he is a mastermind at the back end server technology. He is what keeps everything up and running. Here, I'm going to add him to the stream, is Joel joining us.
Joel.
And then CJ Moynihan. Oh, Joel, I want to mention, has been on the team for almost 5 years.
Yes.
Pretty soon, we're going to be celebrating a 5-year anniversary, which is awesome. And then we also have CJ Moynihan, who is a game designer with us and also computer scientist, does coding on the back end for the app and does design work as well on the digital apps too. So welcome, both of you. We're excited to have you.
Thanks.
Hi. We've got a whole bunch of really cool stuff coming in the digital arena. As Debbie mentioned earlier, we've got the legendary commanders coming to the Star Realms app, and these guys work behind the scenes on all the stuff in the Star Realms app, and something that I am super excited about. We have a Hero Realms app that we've been working on. Small number of people are currently in the alpha for it, and man, this app is fantastic. I had really high hopes for the Hero Realms app. It's a lot of really cool features that we worked into the Hero Realms game that, frankly, in paper get underutilized. So we have for the campaigns, we made the ability to level up your characters for the campaign play. So you can when you finish missions in the campaign, you gain experience, and you can upgrade your character, increase your skills or abilities. Sometimes you find treasures, etc. And this really allows you to fully develop your character and make it feels very RPG-like, and that you're building your character up over time. But and we also designed that paper stuff all with the ability to be played PvE, so basically or PvP. So you could level up your character in the campaign and then play it versus somebody else's leveled up character, and that's crazy fun. But it's kind of complicated, and frankly, most of our players just don't do it when they're playing PvP. They just play the straight characters right out of the pack, and they only level up their characters for the campaign play. And one of the things we wanted to do to make the Hero Realms app unique and different from the Star Realms app was to really dive deep into this whole concept of character leveling. And we had a very rich backdrop to do that on, because we had all this stuff designed for the campaign play. And actually, CJ and I did a lot of work on level charts, etc., for the Hero Realms Digital app. And in Hero Realms Digital, you when you create a character, you create a character from scratch, and then you level them up over the time. So all the play you do in the Hero Realms app, whether it's versus the AI or the campaign play, or whether you're playing online versus people, all of that has the concept of leveling in it. these are too small for you to see. Sorry, we're looking at the back end stuff.
Oops.
Sorry about that. Okay, so and I'm just going to throw before we get into Joel and CJ. I just wanted to show a couple images of what I was talking about here. This is one of my characters that I've been playing. It's a level 6 wizard. You can see their starting deck. And let's see. I just want to show a quick. Oh. All right, so here's the entry screen for the Hero Realms app. We have the versus AI, versus AI play, where you can select difficulty levels, and we have the online play, etc. I just want to get a quick picture of what this whole level up thing looks like. So here, here's a screen where my wizard was leveling up, and I had a choice to make of what I wanted to get for my level up. And in this, I could increase my health, I could improve my fireball skill, and there's a whole tree of improvements. So basically, you can when you're in this screen, you'll be able to look at each individual card and see what it would do if I got to the various ones at the end of the tree. So you can decide either based on what you want right now for your character, or you can think down the road of, okay, which of these do I want to get to further down, or you could upgrade, or I could upgrade my my channel ability. And again, with multiple choices in a skill tree. So when you're leveling up and you have these choices, there's really interesting things going on that are going to affect your character long term. And you might also when you level up, you might also get get choices of magic items. So basically, there are cards that will permanently modify your deck. So basically, you'll be, when you're playing an individual game, you're buying cards from the market just like you would from Star Realms or in regular Hero Realms. But when you level up your character, you are getting something permanent that's added to your starting deck. So that's going to be affecting your character for the long term. So CJ, can you talk a little bit about our process when we were like bringing this level concept into the game, and sort of figuring out how are we gonna implement this on the digital side?
Yeah. So I remember we talked a lot about what we wanted the Hero Realms app to be. Basically, we have the Star Realms app, and people like that. And I think that it's the level up experience and being able to build a character, started from level 1, and then every game that you play, your character getting stronger, is something that we really wanted to capture with the Hero Realms app. So that's the focus, is you're making characters, you're leveling them up, and then maybe you'll play some games with one character and you'll want to try a different character, and that character will start from level 1 as well. So you're progressing your characters, and also the games are feeling different because not only is the trade deck different every game, but also the characters are, you're getting new abilities and making choices as you level up. Primarily, I'd say that the biggest challenge with the characters and building the characters was figuring out how players are going to be matched with each other. So one thing that is a little tricky is with different level of characters, you have characters that basically you've played multiple games and you've reached level 2, then what happens, like how do we find an opponent for you? So right now, the way that it works is there's a range of possible level differences that you get paired up against. And also there's a matchmaking system. So if you continue to do well, or if you're losing your games, then you'll be paired up against people that have a similar record.
Yeah, so we have, in addition to your character level, your character also has a rank. And the rank is basically how well you've been doing, wins and losses. And basically, as you win games, your player's rank, your character's rank increases, and we'll try and pair you up against a player with a similar ranking. So we've got like bronze and silver, etc., with their various steps along the way. But your character's level, that is going to be going up over time. So basically, your character has experience, and basically those you gain experience when you win a game. You also gain a smaller amount, but you still gain experience when you lose a game. So your character's level will always be on an upward trajectory. Your character's always going up in level when you're playing online. But your ranking, that could go up or down, and so we'll pair you up based on ranking. But as CJ said, there's sort of a range of levels that you can get paired up against. Basically, there's a certain power level range where the games are really interesting, and it's like, okay, cool, I'm paired up against a higher level person. This is going to be a challenge, but it's not impossible. You can totally win. And when you're paired up against a higher level person, as a bonus, you get extra experience points when the game concludes. So Joel, when we launched the alpha for Hero Realms, I was obviously really excited, but I was thrilled to see the reaction of our alpha testers. I know you were sort of on the chat areas a lot, and can you just talk a little bit about the reaction?
For myself, when we launched this, it was before we started the beta testing for the command decks in Star Realms, and I had a 2-week period where I don't think I played any Star Realms because of my online lobby screen was empty. It was so strange. It's been really fun. Adding the new ranking system has also made it more fun because we've been eliminating some of the imbalanced games that we had early on in the alpha. And one of the things, because our matchmaking is a little more strict now, we added the ability to be able to join the queue with each one of your characters, or at least one from each class. So that if you've got a level 12 wizard or something, it might take a little while to find a match. Go ahead, join the queue with a lower level character, and so you can continue to play while you find those optimal high level matches.
Yeah, so that's something where the ability to have multiple characters is very cool in Hero Realms. So basically, I personally have one character of each class, and they're of various levels, and I'll go back and forth between playing them. And the replayability is just insanely high, because not only is it super interesting to play all the different classes, but I find myself wanting to play the same class again and make different choices on the skill trees, maybe get different magic items.
Yep.
So yeah, the replayability. So Star Realms' replayability is obviously insanely high. This is just taking that to a whole nother level.
There's a little more variation, and like you said, some of the magic items, the magic armor, the choices that you're offered are randomized. Some, like the skill and ability upgrades, they're going to be there every time you progress a character, but the items and magic armor, excuse me, those choices are randomized. So you might not see a particular card on a particular playthrough, or if you're playing through in Pit Fight, that's another really good way to experience that character progression in a shorter number of games. With Pit Fight, you level up with each win that you get. So that's an offline versus AI mode. That's also really, really fun.
Yeah, the Pit Fight is really, that's a really cool play mode. So basically, one of the ways you can play offline is this mode called Pit Fight. And normally when you're playing versus the AI or online play, you're going to be gaining experience as you play matches, and you'll gain experience over time, and then eventually level up. In Pit Fight, this is as Joel's saying, just a super accelerated way to play. In Pit Fight, you start a new character, and you will if you win your game, you will level up immediately. So you win one game, you level 2. You win the next game, you're level 3. The next game, you're level 4. However, if you lose a game, that character is out of the pit. So basically, they're kicked out. You have to start start a new character in the Pit Fight mode. So you can experience in those choices of leveling up and which things to get. You can experience very quickly with the Pit Fight, but it is not for the faint of heart, because if your character dies, they're gone. They're out of the pit. You got to start a new character to play. So that can be a lot of fun. CJ, I remember early on we were discussing how rapid we wanted to be the leveling to be. Did we want there to be character death? How we would approach this. Can you talk a little bit about the thinking of that process to set where the decisions we were making there?
Yeah. So basically, when it comes to your character and your level, one thing that we really wanted was for you to feel like that you were progressing your character and to feel that progression. So I'll touch on Brian. Hopefully I'm not pronouncing that wrong. Brian's question. When you have a character and you're building it, it's not just that it's linear. There's a lot of choices that you make along the way. So when you reach level 2, let's say level 4, right? I'm not sure if it's 3 or 4. You get your first skill choice. So you're choosing: do you want to gain health? Do you want to upgrade your skill? Do you want to upgrade your ability? And the skills and the abilities are trees. So you can go down different paths. And especially as you start to pick up magic items, and those are the cards that start in your deck, and they give you synergies that you want to build around. Like, you're a wizard and you have a wand that gives you 1 damage for every action that you've played this turn. So that means that, you want to buy more of those each game. Then you'll build your character differently. And it's not something where it might be kind of jarring even for you to just be given a level 8 character and to make all the choices that you would make along the way. Instead, it's much more fun, in my opinion, to make the choices as you level up. So you're playing with an ability, you get a feel for it, and then now you get a new choice: which path do I want to go down? And we played around with the speed at which you level up a bit, and I like where it is right now. Also, I think that the fact that you always gain experience even when you lose is a big deal, because it means that even as you're leveling up, you'll continue to progress your character, even if you're not winning games. Like, if you're on a losing streak, at least it feels like you're progressing. And I guess I should so for Brian's comment, if level was on the account level, then you wouldn't be able to make a new character. You wouldn't be able to, and sometimes you play the same game. You want to make the same character but make different choices, or you play a lot against other players, but then you want to try and build a character for like a pit fight. So that means that those characters are all separate, because otherwise you would be missing out on a lot of the experience of just playing your character and progressing it.
And one of the reasons that we've got the character rank tied to character and not the player's master account, different players are going to play their characters differently. Somebody might be a lot better playing a fighter versus a thief. And so we wanted a more accurate way to track and to match make. So that if somebody, they might be a level 3 fighter, but if they're winning every single game, they're not going to be a level 3 for very long. But we also want to pair them with people who are going to be a similar rank level as well. So yeah, that's we we discussed having the ranking stored at the player level, like so that it would cover all of their characters, and decided no, let's have it at the character level, or like the hero level, just so that we can have more granular control over the matchmaking. And so far it seems to be working pretty well.
Yeah, and your point, Joel, that basically different players have different skill sets. So someone might be really great with a fighter and just stink with a wizard because of just their natural inclinations on what cards to buy, etc. Yeah. Basically it takes a while to learn how to function best with a new class. So
sure.
Having those independent rankings helps a lot there. And of course, if you win a bunch, you'll climb the rankings quickly, and we'll find matches that are
going to be more challenging.
Yeah, exactly.
So I just want to say I'm really glad that Joel has solved the mystery of the optical illusion of his 2 large storage boxes in the comments. People were asking, why is the Heroes box so much smaller? I guess it was just a lot farther back. So thank you, Joel, for moving them side by side so that we could see that they were indeed equivalent.
Yeah.
And we had a couple quick questions that came up that were related to like what products are going to be in. One was, will the Dragon and Lich be in the app? And then also, will the treasure cards include the Kickstarter promo cards? Can one of you speak to that?
So basically the answer to both of those is not yet. So while we're going to be adding more and more content over time, where the content we're starting with is the base set and character packs. Where we're going over time we're going to be adding Kickstarter promo cards. We're going to be adding additional sets, additional play modes, and I guess bearing the lead a little bit. One of the things that we want to talk about, all these cool features we're talking about. Well, it's great if you're in the alpha, you can play them. What about everybody else? So we are actually going to be moving from from alpha on Hero Realms to the beta, and we will be doing a Kickstarter campaign for this. It's going to be a super short campaign. It's going to be July 20th. It's going to be a 9-day campaign, and at the end of that, basically Kickstarter takes a little while to process stuff, but basically as soon as that's done, we're going to be pushing out the beta to everybody who backs. So basically we will be it'll be basically open to anybody who wants to back. Now this is still a beta, so we are going to be building the game together with everyone who chooses to join the beta. There'll be, as we put out new features, there will be bugs to squash. There'll be things where it's not working quite right. Although I gotta say, the alpha right now is a very smooth, awesome app. It's like, for games I play for fun, it is way up there. Honestly, the only thing that's not great about the alpha right now is our player pool is small because it's an alpha, and so sometimes it takes a while to get a match. But obviously, with the beta opening it up, we're going to have a much larger pool of people, and the beta tester community that we'll have through this. You guys will basically work with us on the features of the app and things that are really important to you play wise. Well, those things are going to be getting higher priority in the thing. So we want this to be sort of a collaborative effort with our community, and that's something that that's something that we did with the Epic Digital app along the way, and it's something that I'm really looking forward to doing with Heroes app.
We've gotten so much good feedback from the alpha testers. I mean, we continue to have players find strange corner cases or odd bugs that are hard to reproduce, and then they'll send it in. I got a note today from somebody talking about the shuffling algorithm and how they noticed that the animation was actually showing one of the cards that was going on top of their opponent's deck, and it's like, that's very
good catch.
Very, very observant.
Yeah.
So we've got now have a ticket filed to fix that, and so it's the feedback is very, very good, and I'm looking forward to getting more.
Yeah, so Game Freak had a question here. Would backing be just for the beta or for the full app as well? Basically, it's both. So basically, when you back, you'll get that beta access and be playing throughout that. And then when the app goes live, basically we'll give you'll get your account and you'll get the full value of what you backed for in the live version. So you'll get the full game when it goes live, plus you'll get the value of your backing in like gems for tournaments or those sorts of things. So basically backing will get you both things, and as I said, like the app right now is in a really, really fun state. So while there will be stuff to fix along the way, the gameplay right out of the gate is awesome. It's really, really in a good spot right now.
Yeah, I just want to comment, if anyone that's listening has any questions for the digital team, this is a great time to pop them into comments. Doesn't have to be about Hero Realms, but you have, two of our members of the team here to answer questions, so don't be shy. And we had a couple other questions here about will your progress be saved when the beta is over?
So basically, the alpha and the beta and the full version are basically separate universes. So basically, when we make the transition from alpha to beta, all our beloved alpha characters will blow up, and we'll be starting from scratch with the beta. And same thing for the beta. We'll have characters throughout the beta, but at some point, we'll reset the universe at the very least for when we go to the full version of the game. But it's possible that we'll do a reset at some point in the beta if there's something critical that we need to test for that. Now, we try not to. We haven't done a character reset where you lose your character's level and such entirely in the alpha. We've done some resets where you'd have to re-choose your skill trees and stuff. Yeah. So we will try and avoid that, because we know you work hard on your characters, you love them, you don't want them to go away. So that is something that we're gonna keep. But there will be a reset going from alpha to beta, and there'll be a reset going from beta to the full version, partially just to keep things fair for all the players, but also because that sort of starting at the beginning and ramping up is a big part of the experience, and we want to make sure that we have it right, all the way throughout.
Yeah. So one other question that came up was the NDA. So at some point, right now, people that are in the beta, we ask people not to stream and post pictures. So we'll discuss, but we will at some point, be likely before, this Kickstarter launches, lift that so that people can stream and that they can post pictures and stuff. I think we were still developing a lot of the features and working through some of these things. So we didn't want people sharing things and then the final product being different. So as a team, we'll discuss, but we will definitely lift. At least I would like to, because we definitely want to get the word out and let people who haven't had access see what it's going to look like. So we appreciate, though, for everyone that's been in the alpha, kind of keeping it under wraps for us. I had a question. So while we have the digital team, here's a fun question. From Luke, do you have all the old arena formats saved, and could we have a chaotic arena where each game it's a random arena format? Wow. What do you have to say to that? And we also got some positive comments that the team is doing a great job, and also Joel managing the the betas has been fantastic.
We do have all the old formats saved, but randomly picking one of those every game. We have players complaining about missions and events already. I don't know. The chaos of old formats. Some people would like it. I don't know how many players would, and it would take some work to implement that.
Yeah, I'm envisioning several crashes along the way. But that's a really cool idea. So yeah, one of the really fun things as a game designer with the arenas, we get to make all kinds of new formats, things that would be like rules for a different deck building game, like a way that you could structure a game that's just different from the way that Star Realms is structured. And the fact that we get to change that up each week with Arena and throw new things out there for people to explore is really fun.
The Arena has been going for 3 years now. I think we launched in May of 2018 with the Arena. And the fact that we continue to come up with new formats, new ways to play, it's a lot of fun.
Everyone doesn't love every format, but
not every format.
That's the fun of it, right? You get to try something new each week. So CJ, we have a question about Epic. So CJ actually worked on the design of some of the physical card game sets and is on the digital team. So this has come up on multiple streams. When will we see, and I don't know if you know the answer to this, but I guess this is just feedback. And I know I've mentioned this to you before, that people would love to see additional Epic cards added to the digital game, the latest expansions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I personally don't know the answer to that. So I think it's more of a decision about what we want to do next.
Yeah.
And we've increased the size of the digital team, which I'm really thankful for. And we've got some of the artists and people that we've worked with for Hero Realms. Hero Realms was beautiful, but we're still small enough that, any one of us is really focused on kind of one project at a time. I've managed the beta for Hero Realms, but I haven't done as much of the server work for it as I have for Star Realms, say. So, yeah, it's...
Yeah, so
Pantheon specifically, So Pantheon specifically, people would really love to see.
So basically, I guess the general answer is more of these cards will be coming, and obviously, we have new physical content that just came out for Kickstarter backers, and will be coming to stores soon, which is the Epic Duels, the Guardians of Goanna, and the Lost Tribe packs. Tons of cool new content there for Epic on the physical side. The Duels was something where we were like, this is our teaching new players things. We want to get these into the app ASAP. So Duels is already in from the new content. Obviously, we have more Pantheon sets to get in, and then we have the Guardians of Goanna content, and then we have the Lost Tribe content, and then there's some Kickstarter exclusive content. So there is a whole bunch of stuff that will be coming down the pipeline for Epic, and basically that's going to be a piece at a time. So basically, my rough estimate is every few months, a couple packs worth of content will come into the app, and so we'll have a continuous stream of new stuff coming into the digital app for a while. And of course, one of the great things about Epic is with the card pool that's in there right now, there are so many different things that can come up during your draft play or your sealed, or a lot of choices for constructed. But obviously, all the players want to get all those cards in, and we're going to have more of them coming in over time.
So yes, Duels is in the app, so you can check that out. Let me just see. We had a question about the web gallery. the card gallery on the website get updated. So I think the Hero Realms website doesn't have the latest sets up on it. So I think the campaign stuff we don't put up because it's we don't want to put spoilers up. But but I can talk to the team. That just comes back to priorities. So it was suggested that maybe it's a stretch goal, but I'll talk to the team about it and see if we can get some of the newer cards up there. I know that's been the case on multiple of our card galleries. It takes a bit to just get everything organized and uploaded and formatted to go up on the website. So, you know, I can chat with the team about that. And let's see, will the latest Hero Realms expansions be translated in other languages? Yes. So our language partners tend to run, you know, a little bit behind schedule versus when we come out with things in English. But, you know, anyone who's working through our product lines, we work with them. We want to have all of our products translated. So it takes some time for them to do the translations and for them to, you know, get the product out. If you have a question about a specific language, you can email our support team at support@wisewizardgames.com and we can check the schedule. But I would recommend you reach out. The best way is to reach out to that partner. So for example, Devere for Spanish, Portuguese, and Italian, or Yellow for French, because they'll have more detailed knowledge of their release schedule. CJ, is that
it's
about yeah. Got Kapow, got Sorcerer here. Got some other stuff over here.
Can we get Hydra head tokens on the next Kickstarter?
Oh,
I just pushed everything in so that so that it looks very clean.
Yeah.
Hydra head tokens. They were suspiciously missing. Wait, what? I don't know if you want to comment.
Sure. Yeah. So no, the Hydra head token is that is a cool idea. Can we show I want to show more pictures from the Hero Realms app.
Sure. And why is the Hydra boss so hard? We have a question.
We
like to make our games hard.
Yeah. So the solo modes we make really hard on purpose. Basically, we want it to be a challenge. We want you to get the replay value out of them. If a solo mode's easy, you play it once, like, okay, cool, that was nice. Now what's next? But the replayability of the Hero Realms and Star Realms games is super high, and we wanted to have good replayability in these solo modes. So basically, we make them tough. It's a challenge. Expect to lose, but fight hard to win, and basically, eventually, you can defeat the bad guy, and it just basically that's sort of a design philosophy. Now you can always make things a little bit easier on yourself. Start with a higher score, add a fire gem to your starting deck. Basically, if you wanna, no shame in tweaking it. If you're like, hey, I don't want a super hard experience, I want like a 50-50 experience, or I'm probably gonna win experience. You can go ahead and tweak either with the modifications in the rule book or make some house rules to get there. But basically, the design we have out of the gate is meant to be a challenge. So yeah, the Hydra will eat you frequently.
And there's a couple videos, I guess. That's good. Well, yeah, post a link if you did videos on Tibus. You post a link below so people can check those out. That's awesome. All right, so you wanted to maybe...
Sure.
So bear with us because, our graphics when we're doing these are really tiny and it's hard for us to tell which is which. So Rob wants to show some graphics.
So I just wanted to just show some of their just some of the gameplay stuff from Hero Realms. So this is a game in progress. You can see that you can zoom on a card to get a better look at it. See like if you're checking out the stuff in the market, deciding what to buy. Here's just a general gameplay screen. So it's got nice little intuitive AI features. So just certain cards are glowing. Like all the cards in my hand there are glowing, and one of my opponent's champions is glowing. And that's but the other one is not. Well, the cards in my hand are glowing because they're all eligible to be played right now. So when you could play something, it glows. And my opponent's guard champion is glowing because I have 4 combat, and it's a legal thing I can attack and stun right now. So so if I wanted to, I could double click on that and do the attack. So it's a nice, super intuitive thing. And when you have enough gold to buy something in the market, that card will also glow. So basically, your options, it really does a nice job walking through the options. And there's really nice, some really cool visual effects as well. I don't know if I can find it in here. Here we see, and here's an option. Here's a scenario where, if you can look at your skill cards and get your skill and abilities that you have available during the game. You can click on them to get a view of, okay, what will this thing do if I activate it? And then there's cool animations that go along with those abilities when you use them. And of course, we'll be adding more cool visual features over time. And one of the neat things about the game is when you're creating a character, every single time you make a new character, you're going to be naming that character. You're going to be selecting which artwork, which artwork you want to use. So when you're creating a new hero, there's a spot to name your character. You can, type in whatever name you want. When you're playing against people online, they'll see your character's name. You can choose which of the there's 2 artworks for each character. You can select between them with those toggles there next to the art, and of course you can choose choose your class. And if you're not familiar with them, you can click to get more info on the class, see what their starting decks look like, all that sort of thing. There's just a lot of really beautiful features within the app. It's just it's a really pretty game, and it's just the play is awesome on it.
Yeah, the UI is awesome. I mean, I know it's evolved over time.
So CJ, can you talk a little bit about, I know you did a lot of stuff, you had a lot of input on the UI.
Yeah. I mean, so I think the UI is one of the more challenging aspects of app design, because sometimes it's not so much making what you want to look that is the challenge, but knowing what you want it to look like, and having buttons be intuitive to players and know what they'll think when they try something and it doesn't work the way they expect it to. So we've taken some inspiration from Star Realms, but also we've gotten a lot of feedback from players about what they like and what they don't like, and we've tried different options, mostly because it's a fine line to cross when you're trying to figure out whether you want there to be more clicks, because that way it's more explicit, or less clicks because then you just don't have to do as much.
Yes. Yeah, and but that's a big part of what people will be able to do if they join the beta for Hero Realms, just like our alpha play testers who've done an awesome job. They've helped shape what the UI looks like, because if things are confusing to them or they don't like the way things, it doesn't feel smooth or whatever, they let us know and we try and tweak it. We'll be doing the same thing in the beta, and basically trying to make that play experience smooth and intuitive and attract, and look cool.
And look cool on phones.
Yes.
When you got something on a device this big, that takes some work to make sure that everything's readable, and you make it possible for you to actually tap on what you want to tap on with a finger, and yeah. So designing for all the different screen sizes that we support across the range of devices.
Yeah, everything from phone to playing on Steam on your computer is, like the game has to be able to do the full gambit there.
And while we don't have Steam available in the closed alpha right now, I do play on Steam, and it looks really, really good.
It's awesome. Yeah, I often play Hero Realms on my iPad Pro as a large device, and it's the game's really pretty and it looks good on the big screen. Although it's it looks totally fine on the phone as well. But you definitely appreciate it when you see it on the big screen of, oh, it's not like there's phone level detail, and when you zoom it, it just looks blurry or like unused. Basically, it looks nice on the larger screens.
And that is thanks to all of the hard work from the graphic designers that we've got. They do a really, really good job.
I'm working really hard. I don't know if you want to talk about the campaign today or talk about another. Yeah, we had a question about if Ruin of Thandar is in the works, so maybe you can talk about how the campaign.
All right. So basically, so the Ruin of Thandar campaign in the digital app. So the answer is the Ruin of Thandar campaign will not be in the digital app. However, we are working on a different campaign experience. So you'll be able to play the Ruin of Thandar campaign physically, and you'll be able to play a different campaign experience within the app. Also, the upcoming Kickstarter for Hero Realms Physical, which will be coming in the fall, that will have another new campaign adventure in it for characters, basically for their basic levels 1 to 12, which will be a part of that. And the Ruin of Thandar storyline in Physical will be continuing. The Super Awesome Games team is in the wrap up phase on the design of the third installment in the Ruin of Thandar campaign.
They're our partner that designs the campaign.
So that's, and all along we've been getting artwork and other assets ready for that. So basically the Ruin of Thandar campaign will continue physically. There'll be other campaign experiences for physical play, and then there'll be different campaign experiences in the digital play. So basically playing through one will not spoil the storyline from the other. You'll be able to play through all of these experiences separately. The digital experience play through, and then of course the physical games with different stories.
And one of the reasons for that is we've just got a lot more limitations digitally. With the physical campaign, you can sit down and play cooperatively with 5 people. It goes up to you have one of each class, and we just don't have that kind of flexibility in the app. So we have to tweak things and make things that are scaled more appropriately for the digital space.
Yeah, so there are, but on the other side of that same coin, there are things we can do digitally that we can't reasonably do physically. So there are things that you can do physically that are hard to implement digitally, and there are things that you can implement digitally that are hard or impossible to implement physically. So basically, we're taking full advantage of those spaces in both directions. So when we're designing the Ruin of Thandar stuff, we're not concerning ourselves with how would this implement digitally. We're just trying to make the best physical playthrough experience possible. Same thing on the digital campaign. We're not concerned about, could we replicate this in physical space? We don't need to worry about that. This is a campaign for the digital side.
So that was asked, will the digital come to physical? So it sounds like the answer is we're going to have different campains for digital versus physical, but they're both going to be awesome and amazing and difficult. And let me see. There was the new market deck. So Rob, can you comment on the new market deck? Will that be replacing the existing market deck? What does that mean exactly? Will we have to get rid of our old campaign deck?
No. So basically, so the new Kickstarter will have it's got so much awesome stuff. So this fall in physical, so we've got 2 Hero Realms Kickstarters coming up. One this summer, starting July 20th, which is the for the digital campaign. It'll be a short Kickstarter, and then when it's done, we'll be pushing out people into the beta right away. So it'll be a no waiting scenario. Well, waiting on Kickstarter to do the processing, but once Kickstarter gives us the green light, we'll be pushing the app out to everybody right away. So you'll be playing in. So you'll be backing in July and playing in August. So that's exciting. And then in the physical game this fall, we're going to have a Kickstarter for Hero Realms, which is going to have a new base set, as the question indicated. It's going to have new characters. So characters like the Druid and the Necromancer and the Barbarian and the Alchemist, all of which we've given little teasers on here on the stream previously. And there'll also be a new campaign play experience. Now, all this stuff is going to be cross-compatible. Here you can see the Druid, beautiful artwork. And like all our characters, there's 2 choices of art. So you can choose what you want your Druid to look like. So the deck that will be the new market deck, that one is fully compatible with the old market deck. So just like Star Realms base set and Star Realms Colony Wars and Star Realms Frontiers, all base sets that you can play on their own, but you can totally shuffle them all together. Same thing here. You'll have the new deck, and you have your old original deck. You can shuffle them both together and just have a market with more choices in it. You can play one market deck, or you can play the other market deck, however you want to do it. But you will be able to use both of those sets together. And when you're like playing a campaign, and you'll be able to have whatever characters you want. So if you want to have a Druid play in the Ruin of Thandar campaign, we will be giving you the stuff to be able to make that possible. If you want to take a fighter and play them in the campaign set that's going to be coming with the new Kickstarter, the Dungeons of Thandar campaign, you'll be able to do that as well. So basically, will
there be dividers for the storage box?
So yes. So basically, as we come out with new contents for games that have the storage boxes, Star Realms, Hero Realms, Epic, as we come out with new content, we will make packs of the dividers that are available for purchase as an add-on if you want to get them. So for example, a lot of people who backed the High Alert from the Epic Jungle Kickstarter chose to get the High Alert dividers. So basically, just like that, we will have, when we have new Hero sets, we will have dividers available for those who want to pick them up, and they'll be the same really nice material. We'll use the awesome artwork from the new sets, of course, on them. So that stuff will be available.
Yeah. Now that I've got my box down, I just got my High Alert stuff. I need to dig out all my cards and file them away.
Yes.
So those dividers are really, really nice.
Yeah, and Joel is showing off the large storage boxes right next to him, to his left there. And for the new character decks, can someone, I think I know the answer to this, but I'll ask you, Rob. Can someone play these in Ruin of Thandar? Will they come with skills and etc.?
Yeah, so basically there will be the characters, and there will also be everything you need to play that character in a campaign and in this level to play, like in the Hero Realms app. I have a feeling once the Hero Realms app is out and people see how cool it is to play characters and level them up, they're going to want to do that with their physical stuff. So we're going to be going forward. We're going to be packaging stuff in a way that makes that really easy to do. So yeah, all the magic items and treasures that a character could find over time, and all the stuff for their skill trees on these new characters will be available. We'll basically have like an adventure. So basically there'll be the Druid character pack and the Druid adventure pack. And in the Druid adventure pack, you'd have all the stuff to bring them through an entire campaign. So you'd be able to take that Druid and play it through the campaign that comes with the new stuff, or you'd be able to take that Druid and play it through the Ruin of Thandar campaign. And basically, when it's time to get treasures they'll have little icons on them indicating at which point in the campaign you would randomize the various treasures to be among the choices that they can get. So that's going to be. The new characters will be compatible with the old campaign if you want, or the old characters you'll be able to port over to the new campaign.
And Shane, who joined late, there's going to be a Hero Realms app. So Shane, I recommend that you, when the video ends, to watch the replay, because we covered in detail a lot of the features in the app. But I think you heard Rob talk about that there'll be multiple Hero Realms Kickstarters this year. So yes, it's really exciting. So it was a question about Epic. I'm hoping you, Rob, or CJ could take this one. It's about sort of the Epic storyline.
All right.
Yeah.
So,
do you know the answer, CJ?
Yeah, it's basically why is it when you play Epic, if you've run out of cards in your deck and you draw a card, then you win? Well, I mean, I guess the obvious answer is something needs to happen. I guess nothing could happen, but we don't want there to be game states where players just play forever. So if you just had nothing happen, that could definitely happen if you run out of cards and both players just can't do anything. But basically, in Epic, card draw is a really essential part of it. So whenever you play a card at an event, a lot of the events have the option to draw 2 on them, and having an alternate win condition be drawing out your deck turns running really low on cards from this like inevitable defeat into sort of an alternate win condition that comes up extremely rarely. It doesn't happen very often. So it's exciting. I think that it improves the game for drawing out to be an alternate win condition, because it's very rare that it happens. So that when those games do come up, even if you don't win by drawing out very often, you can at least force your opponent to have to play more aggressively because you have been drawing more cards.
Yeah, and one of the nice things about that mechanic is if you have a game where there's a lot of control going on, people are spending their time and effort to keep the threats away as opposed to moving toward winning. Well, when you're doing that, you tend to want to draw a lot of cards to have access to that. So if there's 2 players who are on that very defensive, control-y strategy, by them doing what their decks intend to do, which is draw lots of cards, they are racing toward a form of victory in that way. So so yes, that's the thought of the the alternate win.
Thank you. Thanks for answering that question. We're running way over on our normal stream time. It's been fantastic to have so many questions there. I just do want to mention this one suggestion from Brain Games. It would be nice to have a larger player board instead of the plain hero card, so you could show skill levels and info that just feed back to the team. And is there anything else you want to share or comment on? Or
I just want to thank the guys from the digital team. Obviously, we've got Joel and CJ here, but the whole team has been working really hard. We got a lot of cool things in progress. We mentioned the Star Realms stuff, but we didn't dive very deep into it here. But there's a lot going on with the Star Realms app. We've got the Hero Realms app. We've got Epic. We've got so much stuff that the guys are doing, and I'm just super excited with how everything's progressing. The tournaments in Star Realms, the continuing with the arena, the new sets coming for Star Realms, the Hero Realms stuff in the pipeline, the tournaments in Epic. We just got a really lot of cool stuff going on, and you guys have been kicking a lot of butt.
Yeah,
thanks.
I agree. It's amazing with the small team, like how much stuff we have out there and how amazing it all is. So I know everyone's going to love the Hero Realms app. So thank you.
Yeah.
Great.
All right. So thanks
for all the questions, everybody. Yeah.
This has been great. And we'll see you next Tuesday.
Sounds good.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right.